I was wrong, okay? I admit it. I confess. I repent. It wasn't the first time and it won't be the last. I was wrong about the pro-gun rally in Virginia. I said it was likely to lead to some sort of conflict, and it looks like it went off without a hitch. So, in this case, I'm glad to be proven wrong. But I wasn't the only person who made a mistaken prediction. Oh no, I had plenty of company. But these folks came at it from a bit of a different angle than I did.
Nervous about what's going to happen.
Authorities in Richmond are on high alert.
It could be a tense day.
Such polarization, what may happen in Virginia.
Several hate groups, supposedly some white nationalists.
White nationalists.
White nationalists.
White nationalists.
White nationalist groups.
White supremacists.
White supremacists.
White supremacists. White extremists.
This entire rally stands in opposition to the meaning of this day.
Virginia on the edge.
How concerned are you that there might be some people in this crowd that may want to get violent?
There's certainly a lot of concern here.
Raising fears of a dangerous confrontation.
It could be violence. And there is real concern there about what the intention is behind this.
There's a lot of concern about the potential for violence.
Could spark violence. Tensions high in Virginia may cause violence.
Now, is it just me, or are you getting the feeling that these folks were actually hoping for some violence to break out? Like, I don't want to be cynical, but I mean, it would be good for ratings, right? Oh, well, too bad. Didn't happen. And what the hell is up with all this white nationalist stuff? Honestly, they sound like broken robots just repeating some pre-programmed line.
White nationalist, racist, white supremacist, orange man bad, ha ha ha.
Even though we were all wrong about Virginia, we were wrong for very different reasons. My prediction was based on someone other than the rally participants inserting themselves into the scene to stir up some shit, while the media talking heads were unanimous in condemning the gun ralliers themselves, the supposedly white nationalists. But then there's this guy.
Every news piece you've seen on this weekend, they've always brought up the issue of race, as though it's nothing but white rednecks and hillbillies out here who care for the Second Amendment, when actually black Americans, Asian Americans, Hispanic Americans, Americans in general care about the Second Amendment. I work at a gun store part-time, and I can't tell you the number of customers I see of all races, all colors, all creeds, who care about the Second Amendment and who just want to peaceably live their lives, enjoy their rights, and the Second Amendment. So that's why I'm out here. And big media, mainstream media be damned. If you take a good look at me, you can see I'm a black American.
Isn't it funny how the lamestream media never seems to find this guy? Nope. Nobody to see here, folks. We just keep listening to the voices in our heads or the teleprompter or whatever. I mean, I knew that the rally goers were not going to be a problem if left to themselves. And they weren't. But some large-brained people were confused by this.
Is that when we go out and march for the dignity and the recognition of the lives of people like Freddie Gray and Eric Garner, the whole place is surrounded by police in riot gear without a gun in sight. And here are all of these people flying Confederate flags with semi-automatic weapons, and there's almost no police officers at that protest. So who or what are our institutions protecting from who?
The gift that keeps on giving, Miss AOC. I don't know what's more astonishing, the stupid things that continue to come out of this woman's mouth, or the number of people who keep applauding. If Miss Occasional Cortex was even the slightest bit curious, the answers are there for the finding. So as she asks, who or what are institutions protecting from who? Well, let's take a look at the Freddie Gray protest that she mentioned.
Scenes of devastation in Baltimore as riots which have torn up the U.S. city appear to be calming. At least 27 people have been injured, including 15 police officers.
It appears that the police are protecting the entire city from being burned to the ground. It looks like to me. And what about Eric Garner?
At least 30 people have been arrested during protests in New York City after a grand...
So, the police arrested 30 people. at the Eric Garner protest. Well, I wonder for what? Was it for, like, carrying rude signs or licking lollipops? I doubt it. But, I don't want to be unfair. I mean, what about the Virginia gun rally? Surely it wasn't all sunshine and lollipops, was it? Nope. There was conflict there too, and the media got it all on camera. Let's take a look.
I'm here peacefully. I'm not trying to
Everybody's
kill
unarmed.
You mentioned
they're armed. They don't have their
what was
bullets.
you going to go over the
That's
fence
what's up.
with, buddy? Bad language? I didn't
Stupidness,
say I
bro.
was going over the
Hey,
fence.
are you a
I'm asking him,
Democrat
if
too,
he's
bro?
making that speech, is he going to go over the fence and back up?
Whoa, that was a close one. Those guys almost used swear words before breaking out into a man hug. Oh my, where were the police when you need them? So, Miss AOC, it appears that the protests you touted had a real need for police, not to mention fire departments, while the protest and the people that you vilified were perfectly able to police themselves with no cost or harm to anyone. It appears that the protests without a gun in sight, as you say, were filled with violence and destruction, while the fully armed protest was harmless. That's the reality of it. Now, wouldn't a rational person conclude that maybe guns are not the problem? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to presume that you're a rational person. Logic is so white supremacist. But if guns were not the problem, then what is? Well, let's just say that these protests differ in a way other than the number of police or the number of guns. And anyone with eyes to see, a brain to think, and the guts to say it knows what it is. Too bad I've only got 2 out of 3. Peace out.